around Kansas City, and we all had that right. Before, of course, I definitely do get to that. I want to give, of course, props, or at least a little bit to the unanimous picks. 32-10 on the season. The unanimous picks, by the way, the unanimous picks is when we all agree with the home favorite. The unanimous picks is when we're all in agreement, if you will, with the favorite. And that being, of course, and looking at it, a 41-17 clip on the year. So just over 76%. And just over, of course, 71% there respectively. As far as for what's going on in-house and looking at the likes of things, we're looking at three weekly championships. Am I looking at the lead? That's what I care about. 3 weekly championships for Big P, who, of course, is the defending weekly champion. It was 9-5 record last week. Yeah, you're very welcome. 8-6, of course, is KB. Last week I was 8-6 there as well. Okay, is your golf clap there? Yeah. 5-9, of course, was Marlowe, and that's coming after a 12-1 best record, if you will, from, of course, Big Rob. 5-9, huh? Yeah, 5-9 drops the game timers all the way down to 3rd place overall. Ooh. And 5 games back overall. KB, of course, yes, you still have to lead with your 1 weekly championship. It's not going to make, you know what, the tiebreaker doesn't look in your favor when you look, of course, at Big P, who now has found himself in 2nd place, who's 3 games out of 1st place. Total wins. That's what it's all about. Total wins. The game timers are now, of course, at Big P with his 3 weekly championships. The game timers with their 3 weekly championships are, of course, 5 games out, as I said. And I'm remaining at 6 games back, of course, of the lead as we go into week number 9, where we all, of course, are all on par with San Diego over Kansas City, as I said. And to welcome into week 9, prognostication game time, if you will, the representative, Commando Dave, to the program. Commando, how you doing on this first Friday afternoon of November?
Hey, I'm doing good. JB, how you feeling, buddy? KB, my man?
Hey, what's up? Can't complain. And I'll tell you what, any comments before we get to it, or you just want to get to
it? I'll just say this on that New York situation. It is good to have a show that keeps it real like Game Time. So a Hall of Famer like the Godfather Tony Rome from New York can come down and bring it down and put it down and keep it real and let us know what the real situation is out there as far as running the marathon.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Maestro, strike up the band. Let's do what we can. The other 13 games in the National Football League. Week number 9, we all had San Diego over Kansas City, which adds to the unanimous picks. Nice pick, you guys. Yeah, nice pick, Big Pick. Nice pick, Commando. All right, good job. Good numbers. All right, great. Now, can we get back to our game face? Yes. Yes. All right, let's take out KB as he's, of course, in the lead. And to start it off, we've got a Peyton Manning who's traveling to Ohio, which Coach is pleading with his quarterback and his middle linebacker to please be more, more involved, if you will, in the locker room. Marvin Lewis, after a playoff year a year ago, finds himself right there mired in the middle of the AFC playoff picture at 3-4. The Denver Broncos come in at 4-3. They're trying to maintain their lead in the AFC West. Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos at the Cincinnati Bengals. Commando, we like.
Well, we know you guys, Ohio is the big state for the presidential campaign, and since I'm picking for the game timers, I say let's lay the re-election groundwork with a big victory for the team from Bootsy Collins' hometown. Bengals for the game timers.
Bengals for the game timers. Peyton says Big P. KB. Yeah, it's in Cincinnati, and I like home teams, but I just like the way Denver's rolling right now. I'm going to go with Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos. He's getting stronger every week, Peyton is, so we'll see if he can get it done against a pretty good defense. I completely agree with that, and looking at Denver getting stronger every week, you just look at what, of course, Peyton Manning is doing as far as, 14 touchdowns versus 1 interception in his last 5 games, and you like the fact that he's just putting up numbers, 300 passing yards. Yeah. And last 3 games, right? The last 4 games. Oh, at that. And when you look at that convoluted AFC picture, you kind of wonder, so we'll be looking at a Manning Super Bowl in their hometown at the end of the year. Just saying, Denver and New York. Hey, Denver definitely could win it this year. I'm looking at Denver winning it this week in, of course, the state of Ohio. Let's go to Green Bay, where Arizona is flying to. In that same vein where, and it seems like Peyton Manning basically just took the offense from Arizona if they had any to begin with, because in that same frame, Arizona has absolutely gone south, and they are who we thought they were, in the words of their former coach. Commando, Green Bay, of course, looking to try and stay right there neck and neck with the Chicago Bears, keep them within striking distance in that NFC North. Will they get it done against the Cardinals on Sunday?
Well, as you guys know, the Seahawks need a Cardinals loss. Packers are 3-1 at home, and since I'm picking for the Game Timers, there's a first ballot Game Time Hall of Famer out there, Dwayne the Player, who's saying right now, Commando, you best pick the Pack.
And that's what you're going with, right?
For the Game Timers.
For the Game Timers. I see you disclaiming all your picks for the Game Timers. I like that. Gotta go to Green Bay, baby. Going with Green Bay says Big B. KB, I like cheese. I'm going to go with Green Bay, baby. All right. So you like wine, too. No. Wow. Tired of that. It's a unanimous pick. We all have Green Bay in the books there. Let's go to what would be a matchup between two wildcard teams. Something you mentioned yesterday when you prognosticated the Thursday night game there, Commando. Very interesting game between the Miami Dolphins traveling to Lucas Oil Stadium to take on the Indianapolis Colts. As I said, both teams would be wildcard teams if the playoffs began today, but they don't. They have to play this game and play out the rest of the half of the season. Commando, who you like in this one?
Yeah, like you said, man, 2, 4, and 3 teams, but this is a bigger game in the AFC East, and based on points given up, Miami has the third coldest D in the NFL at the midway point, only 126 points. Colts have given up 45 points more, so I'm picking the Dolphins for the Game Timers.
Dolphins for the Game Timers, says Commando. For the fish, the Dolphins, baby. Wish for the fish, says Big P. He's got the Dolphins. All right, KB?
Yeah, I like the Dolphins. The only problem is that I don't like the fact that they seem like they're starting to roll right around the time when they're going to face the Seahawks here in a few weeks. So, yeah, they're probably going to get this victory. I'm going to go with Miami to win slightly. Slightly. But I do like Indianapolis to make it competitive.
Okay.
But I'm going with Miami.
You know, we'll deal with the South Beach fans next week, or next month, I should say, when we have to face them. But in the meantime, I like what Indianapolis is doing. I like that road victory they got against Tennessee in overtime, something, by the way, the Pittsburgh Steelers could not do, even though I like the way that Miami is rolling, and they did, of course, take apart the New York Jets last week. I like Indianapolis to get this one at home. Called, of course, my upset pick of the week. I like Indianapolis over Miami.
I almost went that way, so
yeah, that's okay. Yeah, stay over there. It's okay. Well, of course, the other Ohio team is, of course, on the mat. As you mentioned, the Browns versus the former Browns there, Commando. The Baltimore Ravens coming off a bye week in which they much needed it and trying to, of course, recover from Ray Lewis being lost, Chris Webb being lost. All that, Terrell Suggs getting some extra time to, of course, get back in the saddle and the thick of things, even though he looked like he didn't miss a beat, even though the rest of his defense did against Houston in the week before, the bye week. Baltimore at Cleveland. Commando, who do you like?
Like I said, Ohio is the big state for the election. This is a GP game, and I don't mean Gary Payton. I'm talking about general principles, and on GP alone, as you just mentioned, on behalf of the Game Timers, I can't pick the team formerly known as the Browns, to beat the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland. So the Browns for the clean sweep in Ohio for the Ohio player.
Wow, going Cleveland over Baltimore is Commando. Big P.
Oh, B-Mo, baby.
B-More says Big P. KB.
Man, Cleveland won an ugly game last week.
Right.
Oh, they keep winning ugly.
Right.
You're right. Browns fan.
I'm going to go with T-Sizzle on the crew. I like Baltimore getting back with Terrell Suggs. I told you that, guys that are Pro Bowl caliber defensive players still know how to tackle. And he may not be in football shape yet, but he got an extra week to get into football shape, and I think he's going to wreak havoc
have one of the more underrated defenses in all of the National Football League. I think this is a week where Flacco actually has a good week. Good week, bad week, good week, bad week. Yeah, he had a horrible week the week before, and he gets a bye week. I think he will have, of course, a bounce-back week. I like Baltimore in this game. Let's go to Houston, another team that is coming off a bye, but after spanking those previously mentioned Baltimore Ravens, they welcome back Mario Williams in the town. They said, thanks, but no thanks. We don't need your services. But he's not playing. Why? Because he's getting surgeries even that the Bills training staff doesn't even know about. Trouble in Buffalo. Buffalo has a strange defense. I'm being very nice when I say that. Buffalo at Houston because it's on the schedule. Commando, who you like?
You guys, this is the Week 9 Game Timer prognostication, easiest pick of the day. The Texans at Reliant Stadium in Houston. H-Town, baby.
H-Town, baby. Don't mess with Texas. That's what Texas. Houston. KB.
This game will be over in the second quarter. I'll run away with it. I got the.
Yeah, literally with Arian Foster. I'd like to see him work in a little bit of Andre Johnson a little bit more. They haven't been using him to this point in time. Something tells me with that Buffalo defense, especially as weak as they are against the pass, they'll let it, of course, go. Andre Johnson, of course, with the big game, along with Arian Foster. I got H-Town, baby, as well. The battle of the last two Heisman Trophy candidates will take place in the nation's capital. I don't know what the stat is, what the Redskins, when they play at home before a presidential election means. Okay, you can go ahead and break it down for us if you know that, Commando. But we have Cam Newton. Oh, Cam. All right. We've got, of course, RG3 in the house, playing much better ball, even though Cam Newton tried to bounce back. Should be a very interesting matchup between quarterbacks. But there is the other facets of the game. Carolina at Washington. Commando, what do you like?
Yep, interesting quarterback matchup. Last year's guys versus this year's guy. Cam Newton and Robert Griffin III. Should be a good game. And because of the odds, I don't like picking against teams that have lost 5 straight. But from what I see, I have to go with RG3 crew, the team from Washington, D.C. for the Game Timers.
For the Game Timers, of course, there's a special hanging with the RG. Hanging with RG.
So, you know, I could only think off the top of my head. Off the top of my head, there's only two.
To do that?
Yeah, two quarterbacks in the NFC, I think, that are playing better than Robert Griffin III right now. And it's kind of tough for me to say Eli Manning because, I mean, he's putting up the numbers. And then you have to also look down there in Atlanta with Matt Ryan. So you're not just talking about a potential rookie of the year. I mean, this guy could be in Hawaii. I mean, he could be in the conversation for the MVP, at least as NFC Offensive Player of the Year or something like that. RG3 is going to, Washington's going to take care of business. I got them all the way against Carolina. You guys got to bet some money.
Because
Feel my thunder.
this is why I can't wait till election. Well, actually, the election be over. That's called a filibuster. Okay. All right.
You guys are just angry because you're not winning.
I am winning.
Oh, it is.
I am winning. I am winning.
There you go. There you go. You tell them. I like Carolina in this one. And I'm winning. All right? It's time for me to win. I'm Haley's Comet, not the Houston Comet. Winning. Coming back around. There we go. All right. All y'all have Washington. I got Carolina. Let's move on. And let's be quick about this. Detroit is at Jacksonville. I need not say more. Commando, who you got?
Ain't no party like the Jaguar party unless the Jaguar party is at Everbank Field where the Jags can't get the party started. And I didn't like seeing the Lions beat the Seahawks last week, but I saw enough to pick Detroit for the Game Timers this week.
There you go. Big P. Detroit says Big P. KB.
Motor City. City. Friday, yo.
Yeah, apparently. I like the way that they responded, and they are the comeback Cavs. You can never count them out. Ask plenty teams this year. Maybe this is where Detroit starts to go on that roll, and I hope that it's not one that tie breaks the Seahawks in the end. But Jacksonville will have nothing to do with that. this will just be another commodity. Detroit in Jacksonville taking them on out. So that's a unanimous pick there in the books. Let's go to Tennessee, where we find, of course, the Chicago Bears coming off a tough, a very hard-fought home victory over Cam Newton and the Carolina Panthers a week ago. Tennessee coming off a tough loss at home a week ago to the Indianapolis Colts. Commando, who you like in this one?
Man, it's the second easy one. The Bears for the game timers.
All right. Now, do you have your own picks next to the game time picks? Are they any different?
Oh, yeah. For the record, my picks are strictly for my fiduciary responsibility as a Game Time Hall of Famer for the Game Timers. Keep that in mind. If I was betting, there would be slightly different picks. Could be slightly different.
Okay. There we go. Big P. Tennessee, baby. Tennessee. Ooh. Tennessee.
Ooh.
All right, KB. Yeah. When you look across the line and you see, what is it, number 90? Is that Julius Pepper? That's a scary dude. And Julius Salt and Pepper. Yeah, and that's what Matt Hasselbeck is going to be dealing with all day. Julius Peppers. I got Chicago. I got Chicago, too. Big P, if I come through with my upset picks, I'll give you that one. Okay? Hey, he pulled a butt muscle running into the end zone a few years back. Just imagine what's going to happen when Julius gets on. Yeah, not going to be pretty. I like he's ready to play. I like Chicago in this one there as well. Hey, all I need to say is this is a rematch from the Super Bowl of 10 years ago. Didn't quite work out for your Raiders back then, Commando. How's this one going to work out in Oaktown 357? Oakland hosting the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Commando, who do you like?
Man, you talk about swing states. This is a swing game for both of these swashbuckling teams. In fact, this is the one game that the throat-slashing gesture should be reinstated. I mean, come on. The Buccaneers and the Raiders, suspend the rule. This is a tough game to pick, but I saw my favorite quarterback, Kenny the Snake Stabler, on TV tailgating with some Raider fans the other night. So as a 70s Raiders fan, I took it as a sign to pick the Raiders for the game timers.
For the game timers. See, he has a choice. Oakland, baby. Oakland, says Big P along with Commando Dave, KB. Remember what I called him last week? Who that? Tampa Bay Bay. Tampa Bay Bay. I like Tampa Bay Bay's kids there, too. Hey, chopping wood, of course, with Coach Giano. I like Tampa Bay in this one. Josh Freeman, Doug Martin, Mike Williams, Tito Jackson. Yeah, they're all rolling. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very interesting game. But Tampa Bay, of course, coming out on top. Here we go. Pittsburgh flying in and getting out of the Big Apple, really, which looks like the rotten apple right now after Hurricane Sandy. What's Hurricane? Yeah, you're right, in New Jersey, which is even worse. The New Jersey shores are no longer. What did you say Hurricane Sandy was, Commando?
Oh, man, she turned out to be one big old fat, ugly bee.
Even the one you just see, queen bee, is that?
I could have said, G's up, hurricanes down, though,
Oh, the Pittsburgh Steelers without Troy Polamalu yet again, but at 4-3, maybe trying to find their swag. The New York Giants at 6-2 and looking every bit like the defending Super Bowl champions, but they're road warriors. Don't play too well at home, but we'll see what happens here. Giants hosting the Steelers. Commando, who do you like?
The Giants are setting the pace in the NFC East, and the Steelers are just trying to keep the pace in the AFC North. We know it's going to be a lot of storm-related emotion in MetLife Stadium. It may even be louder than the Seahawks this week. The New York Football Giants for the game timers.
All right. Babyface the man. Babyface man. All right. Yeah, I got to go with the New York. This is a tough one, but I'm going to go with the New York Football Giants to win this one. It's going to be emotional there at the stadium, and Eli Manning's going to go out there and do his thing. I'm going with the Giants. All right. Need to say more. I agree with all of you, especially your thoughts there, Commando. You stole my thunder, but the Giants will definitely steal the game from the Steelers. Let's go with from another unanimous pick, or from one unanimous pick to Atlanta, with the Dirty Birds coming with a 7-0 record, hosting the schizophrenic Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Monday night. Commando, who you like?
This game is a must-win for the Cowboys, but the Falcons ain't going to let them. They don't call them the Dirty Birds for nothing, JB. So the game timers are rolling with the ATL, buddy.
The ATL says Commando. Atlanta says Big B, KB.
Dirty, nasty, filthy. Birds.
I love it. I got Atlanta there as well. Another unanimous pick. And until they lose, you might as well keep going with them.
Right.
Here are two teams that are definitely struggling. The Monday Nighter, where I guess a players-only meeting will help. Or will it? The Philadelphia Eagles at the New Orleans Saints. Commando, who do you like? Monday night.
Last game before Election Day, and Michael Vick is campaigning harder for his job than the president. Philadelphia is the city of brotherly love, and both these brothers need some love. So the Saints are favored by 3, but the game timers are taking the Eagles and President Barack Obama.
All right. That Philly says Commando, Big B.
I'm sticking with Mike.
Sticking with Mike. Michael Vick. All right. And the Eagles, KB.
Superdome, going with the home team. Who they, who that, all that. New Orleans.
Who they? They 2 and 5. Okay? 3 and 4. Philadelphia definitely does need this one. Listless last week. I think they'll bring it this week, especially on Monday night. We know what Michael Vick can do on a Monday night football stage. It's going to be a shootout, but Philadelphia, the Eagles, get it in the end. So, let's go to the game that matters most for the host. All right? Let's go ahead and see what on blue and, what is it, purple, gold, and blue Friday. Weird, huh, Commando? The Seattle Seahawks hosting Jared Allen, Adrian Peterson, and the rest of the Minnesota Vikings. Sidney Rice-Shaw going up against his former team.
All right.
Got a lot of familiarity going on. Commando, who are you familiar with?
Well, there are only 5 teams unbeaten at home and left in the NFL. The Seahawks are one of them, and I don't see the Vikings spoiling it. So Seahawks for the game timers in Seattle and beyond.
All right. Big B.
Russell and the crew.
Russell and the crew.
Seahawks, baby.
Seahawks, Big B.
Gotta go with the Seahawks.
Got to go with the Seahawks. Y'all always know I ride true blue with the Seahawks. It's unanimous pick at that. San Diego, Cincinnati, Green Bay, Miami, Cleveland, Houston, Washington, Detroit, Chicago, Seattle, Oakland, the Giants, Atlanta, Philadelphia are your picks, Commando. Is that your final answer, sir?
Final answer, and go Huskies.
There you go. Well said. Now we're short on time, but I definitely want to leave this last news of note. The New York City Marathon has indeed been canceled for...
Wow.
We'll talk about it Monday here.
Wow.
The Phillies Sports Talk Show in the Northwest.
Game time!
KRIZ, Renton, Seattle. KZIZ, Pacific Tacoma. KYIZ, Renton, Seattle.